Chapter 7. There was an incident. Due to some mistake by parties unknown, a Higaran warship collided with a Partogan military vessel in high orbit above the planet Hokianga. Both vessels were using cloaking fields to hide from one another and lost contact just long enough for the crash to occur. Several Partogans, Levakians, and Higarans were injured, but luckily no one was killed. Accusations were thrown about. Both sides called for reinforcements. The space above Hokianga was suddenly full of warships. Higaran, Partogan, and human vessels jockeyed for good firing positions in orbit, aiming their weapons threateningly. Starfighters did flybys of mining stations. Thankfully, no shots were fired, but the situation was quickly descending into a standoff. At Tri-Point Park, the ceremonial border between empires was suddenly militarized. Higaran Marines took up defensive positions along the border, staring across the line at Partogan Green Guards and Levakian hunters. Soon after, human space rangers were posted on their own side of the border, keeping watch over the divided city. In the Mammalian quarter, Kiri and several DIA spies were holed up in a safe house, discussing recent events and issuing new assignments. Everyone needs to be mindful of their surroundings, Tudorangi was saying. The Higarans have started placing automated sentry guns on rooftops, and the humans are flying drones over the city. A lot more drones than we are flying. Also, we're starting to see armed Higaran soldiers patrolling their portion of the city. Hey, Kiri, are you paying attention? Kiri's head snapped up. He was sitting in a corner of the room with 5 large books open on the floor around him. 6 Partogans and Levakians turned to stare at him. "Oh, my apologies," Kiri said, wiping sweat off his brow. "I was familiarizing myself with human languages." Kiri looked down in shame. He knew he was going to get in trouble for not paying attention. But he was in for a surprise. Tudorangi rescued him. "Oh, that's a good idea," Tudorangi said. "Our intel reports say the UN is taking advantage of the hundreds of languages spoken on Earth. They are using multi-language training to stop us from understanding their communications. The official languages of the UN government are English, French, and the Advent Conlang," Kiri said, absent-mindedly pushing one of the books towards the group. "Chinese and Arabic are also widespread. All of these languages are used frequently in the UN military." Kiri went back to the textbook he was reading, making a note to thank Tudorangi later. Tudorangi knew that Kiri was trying to solve the mystery of the tattoo they spotted on the Higaran spy a few days ago, and was willing to grant Kiri some leeway. However, Tudorangi did not know that Kiri was having relations with the Higaran in question. He just assumed Kiri was running a parallel investigation and allowed Kiri to continue. If the situation called for it, Tudorangi would order Kiri to drop his project and help with this new operation. But that moment had not arrived just yet. Kiri was immersed in the textbook. On his tablet computer, he displayed a photograph of Mina. It was taken by Sabello's drone moments after she collapsed from heat exhaustion in the Lithoid district. He zoomed in on Mina's tattoo and meticulously copied the symbols onto a sheet of paper. Kiri compared the symbols to his textbook, and, after coming up with nothing, he tossed the book aside and opened another. Then he finally made a breakthrough. "Arabic numerals!" Kiri gasped out loud. The other 6 spies once again turned around to look at him. This time, however, they looked interested. Sabello and Tudorangi sounded excited as they asked Kiri what he had discovered. 4 of the symbols on this tattoo are Arabic numerals," Kiri said. "She has a 4-digit number on her arm." At once, all 6 agents converged on Kiri, offering to help him solve this mystery. Everyone took a textbook or tablet computer and set to work. A few offered theories. One of the agents, a Partogan woman who specialized in social engineering, offered her thoughts. "Perhaps she's a double agent. Maybe she secretly works for the Internal Security Office, the human spy agency." I don't think the ISO tattoos their agents, Kiri replied. What about the UN military? Doesn't the Muton Corps use ritualistic tattoos? Yeah, they do, replied Sabello, but this girl is Higaran, not a Muton. This only added to the confusion. Wild theories were thrown about while everyone tried to make sense of the mark on Mina's arm. The trouble was this. A simple 4-digit number, without context, was not much to go on. After a few moments, the Arabic numerals on Mina's arm were translated. This was the number inked onto Mina's body. 0, 2, 1, 4. For a few moments, everyone was confused and silent. What the hell does that mean? Someone asked. Could it be a year? Sabello suggested. 214 sounds like a calendar date. What is the current year on the human calendar? 2096, Kiri replied. Right now, the galactic year is 9683. I highly doubt 214 is supposed to be a year. Kiri's mouth went dry. If a room full of spies could not solve this mystery, then the tattoo on Mina's arm had some kind of personal significance to her. She had never told him about a tattoo. In fact, Mina had gone out of her way to hide it from him, refusing to wear short-sleeved shirts, refusing to take off her top in an intimate moment. There was only one possible explanation. Mina was hiding something.